Hey, it's Alex Dante from EMP here, and I'm hanging out with Aaron and Tito from Of Mice and Men.
Yeah!
How you guys doing?
His name's Tino with an N.
It's Tito!
How you doing?
Great, how are you guys?
We're chilling.
So, this is like the last tour in the UK. How's been playing in the United Kingdom?
We've got one show left in Dublin. I think Dublin's part of it too, but I don't know. It's been great so far. You know, so far so good. Other than the weather. The weather's been a little iffy, but the shows have been great.
Yeah. So you guys have been on tour a lot the last couple of months. You just came from Australia, right? And the Fight tour started in America. How is life working so hard, being on tour like all the time?
It's awesome. The shows are great. It is very tiring, but it's very awesome. Like, the shows are kind of the reward for the hard work, when you say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you guys just released the Fi. How are the fans reacting to the new songs?
It's crazy. They're reacting to the new songs infinitely more than they are to the old songs, which kind of blew us away. And at the same time, it's really awesome to be able to play new material for a very receptive crowd.
Yeah. So what's your favorite song on the new album?
Ooh, I don't have a favorite. I can't pick.
I like playing Warzone live. That's a fun one.
Yeah. So, Aaron, you do a lot in the band. You play bass and clean vocals and clean vocals. Have you guys considered getting a new bassist or something just to ease your workload?
No.
No. Yeah, that's up to him. You know, it's all kind of like what he can do, and he's crushing it. Aaron absolutely crushes it.
The big thing for us was like, you know, it's so much about the unit and the way we work together that I couldn't see us bringing in somebody else and figuring out, like, because that's something we talked about before, but it's like, we work so well, the four of us, that within what we can do as a unit, like, that's what Of Mice and Men is. Anything beyond that is not the unit, you know?
Yeah. So, what are you guys planning to do in the future? As you guys just announced a tour with Bullet by Valentine. Is there anything else beside that?
Just lots more touring, lots more music, more shows, more of mice, more life. What does Mike say?
Oh, word, more life. Oh, word, live.
Yeah, live.
Yeah. It's my thing.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any? I don't know, call it projects or ideas that you guys really want to do but haven't had a chance to do yet?
Not really. This takes up so much time that there's not really time for much thought of any other project.
I wish Of Mice and Men made a Mice and Men umbrellas, because I could have used one today when I was walking out there, and then all of a sudden it started dumping down rain. I had to go and buy this umbrella from this side stand it's from 2013. It's too old. You know, we need an updated Mice and Men umbrella that you can just go around with.
I would buy one of those. It sounds really cool.
Kill in the UK.
For sure.
Yeah, the weather's been shit. So how is it different touring here in Europe compared to them in America for you guys?
You know, the shows are a lot of the same. I think Europe definitely has a richer history with regards to the cities and the buildings and the architecture and the culture as a whole. But I think overall the shows are very, very similar all over the world.
The music really remains the same, and it's cool to get to travel all over the world. And we love, especially coming to Europe and the UK, and being able to, you know, see our fans that we've made so far away from home. Because for us, we come from California, and that's, you know, a lot of the times when we're growing up, we don't ever expect to get out of that, you know, or to get to travel or to get to do anything. So the fact that we're able to make music and get to travel and get to hang out with our fans, and, you know, we just had a huge VIP today, and it was great meeting people they travel from all over Europe to come to these shows too. And it's just such a cool thing how music brings people together. And I think if you went to an Of Mice and Men show anywhere in the world, you would know that you would have friends there, whether you spoke the language or not, whether you were wearing an Of Mice and Men t-shirt or not. But just being in that building, being at an Of Mice and Men show, you're there with family, you're there with friends, and people who will accept you for who you are. And I think it's cool to get to travel the world and play music and have that kind of consistency every night.
Yeah. What was the moment when you guys grew up that you figured, hey, I want to play music for a living?
I was definitely like 10 or 11 watching Papa Roach play at my local hometown community theater before Infested, blown up, and that definitely for me was it.
Yeah, for me, it was definitely local shows. Being from Southern California and San Diego, Chula Vista specifically, there's a lot of music going on there, and seeing my friends that were a little bit older than me playing in bands and rocking out on stage, I was like, I want to do that. And the stage was probably no bigger than, we would play sometimes in rooms like this. Like, it wouldn't matter. And I think that's really what sparked something awesome inside of me to think that, like, oh, wow, maybe I could play music and maybe go outside of San Diego and maybe go up to LA and play music or do something. And sure enough, if you want it bad enough and you stay dedicated to it, it'll, success will happen because you determine that. And being able to play music every day, to me, that's what success is being able to love and appreciate music on a daily basis.
Yeah, I bet going from California to playing in my hometown, Oslo, Norway, must have been insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oslo was sick.
Yeah. And it's so crazy to think that...
Also rainy.
Yeah, also very rainy. But yeah, man, there's so much beauty out here in Europe and the UK, and as he said, the history is very culturally rich, and it's so cool to get to come out here and just experience it. I was just outside for like 2.5 hours walking up and down Camden. Like, it felt like the first time I was here, but we've been here like over 10 times, so it's a cool experience and it's a cool vibe. We love it here. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I bet getting paid to hit stuff must be an awesome job.
Hey, yeah, it doesn't come without its setbacks. I ripped my finger open yesterday, but whatever, who cares? It's rock music. Yeah, it's fun. We're having fun.
Work hazards. The worst thing that can happen to me is that I pronounce your name wrong. So, Tito from Of Mice and Men.
But
oh, I'm never gonna live that down.
No.
So, how was the difference going from James Ellsworth to Of Mice and Men, Aaron?
Oh man, I haven't thought about James Ellsworth in a very long time. I don't even know how to start the answer of that. That is such a loaded question. Well, I play bass, and I didn't play bass in Jamie's. Pass. Pass. We don't need to bring up Jamie's.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who cares?
A lot of people were like, ask about that band, and like,
they are 6 years too late. They should have supported back when it was a thing.
I tried, you guys.
Yeah, we'll just cut this whole part out.
Yeah, definitely. So, what made you guys put a Pink Floyd cover in like the middle of the album? It's
literally just half for fun, the other half because we knew we were going to be poking the bear with it and poking some people the wrong way with it, and that's exactly what rock and roll is about: is being a little bit provocative and covering a song like Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd's Money, covering a band like Pink Floyd, it's very provocative. So half of it was for that, half of it was just purely for fun. But then it's all for fun.
Yeah, I remember seeing the internet comments like, why the hell is that song just randomly threw in?
That's it, dude. Because why not?
Because it's rock and roll. You do what
don't
you
tell
want.
us what to do with our albums. We'll do whatever we want with our albums. They're our albums.
Yeah, rules? Rock and roll? Really?
Yeah.
Might be in the wrong scene.
All the people that say that, it's like, oh, sorry, you wrote the rules? No, you didn't. Show me your album. Where's your cover song?
But rock and roll's all about the rules. Yeah, rock and roll's about breaking rules.
Yeah. And we have fun just covering Pink Floyd, and our producer, Howard Benson, we had a bunch of time in the studio, and he was like, have you guys thought about doing a cover? We were like, no. And he was like, well, you should think about it. And we're like, okay, coach, thank you for letting us know. For sure, we'll think about it. And Aaron blurted out Pink Floyd Money. And
total piss take.
And we're also total suckers for like a really solid bass line intro, And we thought, hey, why not just put it on the album for fun, and it'll be a festival banger, and we'll pull it out whenever. And cover songs are just supposed to be fun. There's not too much more thought put behind it. It's somebody else's song. It's very easy to overthink it and like, oh, why? And it's like, well, why not? Because we're musicians and we wanted to learn another song, and then we played it, and our producer he thought it was really, really awesome, and so did we, and so now it exists.
Yeah, so how's the tour been with Siler and Wage War? How do you guys get along?
Oh, it's been so sick. So much fun.
Yeah.
And the shows have been rowdy as hell.
Yeah, they're both really insanely talented bands, and we've been fans of theirs for a while. So being able to finally link up and kind of terrorize every city we go in and have it turn into a war zone in the audience, and it's so cool because all the bands kind of have a similar vibe, and another thing is when Mice and Men comes and headlines, we want to make sure that we bring bands that not only we support, but that we think our fans will support too, and if our fans haven't heard of these bands, hopefully they'll go and buy their album and they'll listen to it and they'll come back and see them when they come through again, because it's all about this community out here, and it's all about the importance of bands and fans being able to come together and to be there for good music and for the right message. And I think both of these bands, all three of our bands, bring something very, very original to the table for each of our bands. And I think when you walk away from the Defy tour, you're walking away with liking three different bands for three completely different reasons, and that's totally awesome, and for us, the fact that we can bring these audiences together and all the bands, we all feel very fortunate to have so many people coming out to these shows and moshing and crowd surfing and singing along and getting involved with the music. That's what this stuff is all about. And so the fact that we're able to do that with other amazing bands from the States, it's so cool. It's like a dream come true.
Yeah. So where's your favorite place on earth to play?
Ooh.
I love coming to London. I'll say it. I always look forward to every time that we have a show here, not only because we have so many friends and family that come out, but we've been playing in London for a long time, and it's so cool to see the same fans and then see new fans and fill a venue with entirely new fans. And it's such a great hub, and especially when we're right here in the heart of like Camden, where there's so many shops and so much to do, and it's awesome. I love coming to London. It's for sure one of my favorites, absolutely.
So how's your writing process like? Do you guys know what an album's got to sound like when you enter the studio, or do you just like kind of make it up as you go?
We like to do a lot of pre-production, so we always go into the studio very prepared. But knowing kind of how it will sound is not... It's something that I've found that if you kind of think that you know how it's going to sound, you're going to be very disappointed because you always kind of discover it while you're in the studio a bit.
And preparation is crucial, like that's the time when we're taking the test, that's what everything, all the studying and everything leads up to those weeks or months in the studio where we have to put everything that's going on in all of our brains onto a computer, onto a mixer, and then put it onto a disc or a vinyl, and we try and be very prepared. The writing process always comes whenever it happens. We'll have times where we get home and it's like, oh, I'm gonna try and write a song. I'm gonna write a song, or let's go jam and write a song. Like, we try and keep it very open because we're musicians, and you shouldn't just like turn your writing brain off one day and like, oh, okay, I'm not going to think about this, because you kind of always have to be creative. And that's why Mice and Men has so much material, is because we've always been able to come up with more than enough material to kind of like create the snapshot of what makes an album. And we never know what the album's going to be until we're like halfway through the recording process in the studio.
To sign us off, do you guys have any messages or last words to say, or...
Keep a lookout for us in your city. You can always keep track by going to ofmicetickets.com, or you can go to ofmiceandmenofficial.com, and we've got all the goodies there and all the news and everything else, and we will see you guys all at a show.
And if you're wondering what it's like to be at a Mice and Men show, we just dropped a new music video for our song Instincts off the album Defy. So click below. I'm sure there will be a link to that, where you can watch and see what it's like to be in the pit for Of Mice and Men.
I'm Alex Dante. This has been Of Mice and Men. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys.
Yeah!
And remember, you can pick up Defy at their web store together with a lot of Mice and Men merch. Do that. And if you haven't heard Defy, check it out. It's an awesome album, dude. Cheers.